One of the most common fretboard patterns I've seen in countless bass lines is the use of the root, fifth and flat seventh intervals. So in this lesson I'm going to talk more about those. I'm going to show you the shape they make on the fretboard, and I'm also going to show you some bass lines that utilise this really important shape. All the info in this lesson's on a PDF. You can get that for free by clicking the link below in the description. So I have all the bass lines on there and the fret diagrams that I use in this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube by clicking the red subscribe button. So let's talk about these intervals first. So we'll start on D. The root note is D, okay? So start with your first finger on D. The fifth is 2 frets up and a string higher. Okay, so that's your fifth. And your flat seventh is here. It's the same place as the root, but 2 strings higher. Okay, so root, fifth, flat seventh. Okay, now it's called the flat seventh because we assume that the seventh is a fret down from the octave. So here's the root note and here's the octave, okay? So we assume that the seventh is 1 fret down. If we flatten it, it makes it 2 frets down, okay? So it doesn't have to be a flat note like a G flat or a D flat. It's just flattened, or it's just another way for saying that it's dropped, okay? So it's dropped down another fret, okay? So when someone says flat seventh, that's what they mean. You have to be a little bit careful when you use it. If there's a chord that's not got the flattened seventh in it, it can clash and not sound great. So we can put the octave on top and play this shape. Okay, so D, A, C, D, okay? D, A, C, D. Now if we put the third in, say for example the major third, and that's a D7 arpeggio or D dominant 7th arpeggio, or the minor third, that's C minor 7, but we're not worrying about the third today, okay? So just root, fifth, flat 7th, octave. We can also put the flat 7 and the 5th underneath our root note if we want. So D here, flat 7th there, that's the C, and the A, okay, is here, okay? And if we had a 5 string, we're playing the low D, we've got that same shape as here. Boom, with a low D. When you're playing this shape, you've got 2 options. You can either use 1 finger per fret, in which case you'd use your 3rd finger on the 5th and the octave, like this. Okay, or you can use your little finger for the 5th and the octave. So you're bunching your fingers up more. I play it that way, actually, most of the time, okay, depending on what I'm playing. If you're enjoying this lesson, don't forget to subscribe. You can do that by clicking the red subscribe button and click the bell and you get notified of all my lessons as soon as they come out. So practice this shape on D first, run up and then run down. Then try it on G. And then try it on E, starting on the 7th fret of the A string. Okay, and you can start it on any root note. So practice those first. They're all in the PDF, which you can get by clicking the link below. And then just start on any root note and make sure you're comfortable knowing kind of what the fretboard pattern is. And start naming the notes as you play them as well. That can help you to kind of learn the notes on the fretboard. So you can find this pattern in loads of bass lines. I make up a bass line every week, and a lot of the time I find this pattern in some part of the bass line or in the main riff. So I'm now going to show you 8 bass riffs that you'll probably know the majority of them, and they use this pattern. So Black Magic Woman's a classic one. The Santana version uses this bass line. And it moves it around to A and G. Okay, so that's just D, so root, 5th, 7th octave. Okay, so that's one. I'm going to show you all these riffs starting on D. So they start on different notes on the original recordings, but just so you can easily see what the intervals are, I'm just going to start them all on D. The next tune is Leaving Trunk by the Keith Hartley Band. I've been working on this one for my British Blues course. I'll play that for you. Okay, so again, you just see these notes here, D, A, D, C. nice kind of funky bass line there. Riff number 3 is from Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers. So on D we're going to play it. So that's using the 7th below and the 5th below the root note. So just using those 3 notes. Then we've got Pick Up the Pieces by Average White Band. Okay, so it's just got a little sort of pick up to that A there. I'm Tore Down, the Eric Clapton version, has got this bass line. Okay, so just root, octave, flat 7th, 5th, and then it goes down to G. Okay, and back up to D. So that's with a shuffle groove, that one. So that rhythm, Driven to Tears by The Police. This is really fast. 1, 2. Okay, so that's just a bit of a fiddly one there. 5th, flat 7th, 5th, octave, root. Okay. The Payback, James Brown. That's just the main riff there. So again, we've got the D and we're playing the 7th and the 5th below it. We're not playing the root note. And then Streetlife, absolute classic using these notes. Okay, I hope you enjoyed those. There's some classic bass lines there. That's just a handful of the hundreds of bass lines that use this pattern. So it's a really useful pattern to know. So just practice moving the shape around. Make sure you understand how you get the 5th and the flat 7th and the octaves from the root note. Okay, and then you can start to make your own bass lines up. Use it when you're doing blues lines or rock lines. These intervals can also be thought of as chord tones, notes of the chord. The only important one that's missing is the 3rd. Okay, so not all bass lines use the 3rd, but if you add the 3rd in, like I said, you can make the arpeggio. So, or the minor. And then you can really start to construct walking bass lines and different riffs out of that. But this is a really, really useful shape. So have a look at the fret diagrams as well and make sure that you understand it. I'd love to hear how you got on with this lesson. Leave me a comment below, and also let me know any other bass lines that you know that have the kind of root, 5th and flat 7 in there, and sometimes the high octave. So any classic bass lines, I'd love to hear them, and also let everyone else know. And I'll reply to all the comments that people leave. Don't forget to like and share this video. That really helps me out. Share it with any other bass players. You can share it on socials. Share the link to here if you want to. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well by pressing the red subscribe button. And if you felt that you got value out of this lesson, then you can always buy me a coffee. It's a $5 coffee. The details on the screen here, or you can see the link below in the description, and there's loads of useful links in there to some of my courses, the free PDFs, free bass resources, so go and check out the description as well. And head over to gbshed.com, that's my website. You can find out more about what Greg's Bass Shed does there. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Hopefully see you very soon in the next lesson.